Discuss another important topic from the geography 11th standard. This is the geography 11th NCERT is the most important, there are number of questions coming from 11th geography, guys. It is the physical geography is there are number of questions coming from that physical geography, okay, in 11th NCERT, guys. Okay, I made a notes for the 11th NCERT, that is world climate and climate change. World climate and climate change. They are asking the questions, direct questions from these topics, guys, from NCERT books. Okay, yes. And climate and weather. They differentiate climate and weather. Okay, weather is the short term and it is short term atmospheric conditions. Okay, yeah. And if come to the climate, it is the average weather conditions over a long period. Okay, yeah. Climate is more permanent, weather is temporary. Climate is more permanent and weather is temporary. This is actually climate, this is the climate change. Okay, changes took place over a period by the many factors, guys. Many factors. What are the? We are going to discuss in this topic. Okay, yeah. Yeah, world climate classification, classification of world climate. Just observe this diagram, this map, guys, this world map. Just observe any difference. Is there only colors or any difference? So, world climate is classified based on their regions, latitudes, that is temperate, precipitation, vegetation dispute and Köppen scheme, widely used. This is Köppen scheme. It is mainly latitudes. Okay, yeah. Temperate region, temperature, precipitation and vegetation distribute. Based on this, world is climate is divided. World climate is classified as from the characters temperature, vegetation and there is precipitation. Precipitation nothing but rain. This is sunlight, heat. This is vegetation means forest. Based on this, the world climate is divided. World climate is classified as temperature, that is sunlight and heat, and precipitation, rain, and vegetation, forest. Okay, just look into this diagram, guys. Okay, this is the area main okay, this is mainly area where the sunlight is huge fall under. Sunlight is huge fall, that is temperature. Subtropical area, this is area mainly there is a huge rain and vegetation also huge. So guys, world climate is classified based on temperature, that is heat and sunlight, based on vegetation, that is forest, based on precipitation, that is rain. Okay, based on these characters, world climate is classified, guys. Okay, yes, yeah. That is the Köppen classification. Köppen's classification. Köppen is the scientist. They can divide, they can classify the world climate, guys. This is the major classification. Most of the people accepted this classification. Okay, yeah. Yeah, uses monthly temperature and precipitation data. Six major groups, guys. Köppen classification, sixth major group. One of the group is tropical climate. Climate classified as a Köppen scientist, that is first one is tropical climate. Okay, tropical is the area where the located beside the equator, may either north equator or south equator. Okay, equator, the place is 0 degree latitude where sunlight is directly fall under. The besides below or above equator, there is a tropical climate condition. Tropical climate condition, it is a constant high temperature, okay, that is more than 80 degrees centigrades all months, okay. High rainfall, huge temperature, huge rainfall is there in the tropical type of climate. In the tropical type of climate, there is a huge rainfall, huge temperature, guys. Tropical, not temperate. Temperate, not temperature. Temperate type of climate, not temperature. Tropical type of climate is the temperature high, okay, and high rainfall. Tropical rainforest, Amazon forest and Congo river, and monsoon based in India, Myanmar, and savanna in Brazil and Africa. These are the type of tropics, okay, these are the type of tropics, okay, tropical type of climate, where this is high temperature and high rainfall. Just look into here a diagram, this is the tropical type of climate, tropical type of climate, okay. Just look into here, this is, guys, this is the equator, okay, this is actually equator region, 0 degree latitude, 0 degree latitude equator. So above 5 degree and below 5 degree, 5 degree to 30 degree, 5 degree to 30 degree, there is a tropical region, okay, tropical region, 5 to 30, tropical region, okay, tropical region. This is 0 degree. Below there is a African countries, Brazil, South American countries are tropical, Above this is the Myanmar, okay, Malaysia, India and Mexico and sub-Saharan areas, okay, above. This is the type of tropical climate. This is the area type of tropical areas. Because of there is a heat, mean sunlight is huge, guys, okay. If the sunlight huge, there is a heat is high, rainfall is also high, so forest also high, forest is also enough forest, so diversified, species diversity also high, species diversity also high. They can ask you the characters of the tropical type of climate. The characters of tropical type of climate is about 5 degree to 30 degree latitude, 5 degree to 30 degree latitude beside the equator, and there is a huge rainfall, huge temperature and huge forest, and there is a high diversity of species. These are the tropical type of climate characters. Tropical type of climate characters are there is huge rainfall, okay, huge heat temperature, and there is a species diversity is high, okay. Such a latitude 5 degree to 30 degree latitude, these are the countries, Central African countries, Central to down African countries, Brazil and this Ecuador, and this is the Mexico north side, India, Burma, okay. These countries are fall under tropical type of climate, okay. I hope you guys understand. Yeah, dry climate, dry mean there is a deserts, right, deserts dry, okay, yeah, dry climate. Evaporation is more than precipitation, evaporation is more than precipitation. there is a low rainfall, low rainfall. Heat is high, heat is high, heat is high, rainfall is low. That's why evaporation is greater than precipitation. Okay, yeah. So deserts, mainly deserts, mainly deserts. Okay, Sahara deserts, India, Thar desert, African Sahara desert. Steppes are the grasslands, steppes are the grasslands in the desert area. Central Asia, Deccan Plateau, rainbow is there. Guys, just look into here. Deserts are formed west side of all continent, tropical deserts. Dry climate is comes under tropical, dry also comes under tropical. Just look into here, just look into here, tropical. This is the tropical area. Of course, there is no temperate. This is also tropical area. Only deserts form, only deserts form. South, this is the south, this is the north. Just see, exactly tropical area only, south side and north side. Just look into here, deserts are here west side of Asia continent. This is the Arabian deserts, this is Sahara deserts, this is American deserts west side, this is South American desert west side, this is Australian deserts west side, this is deserts, okay, in South Africa. Just look into see, all deserts are from west side of the continent, west side of the continent. This is the unique feature of the deserts, guys. Okay, because of there is a cold and warm winds together, they can mix and cycle their west side of continent. The cold and hot winds are mixed, they can give cycle there in the west side of continent all over. They can create a low pressure belt, okay, such a desert formation. Okay, it is actually physical geography I am going to deal coming sessions. Okay, yeah. Next, warm temperature, mild latitude. Okay, warm temperature, mild latitude mean this is temperate type of climate, guys, temperate type. After 30° latitude, after 30° latitude, temperate. Beautiful place in the earth, beautiful place in the earth is temperate. If you want go tour, world tour, you have to go temperate region, you have to go temperate region where the latitude above 30° to 45, above 30 to 45, we can call it as Mediterranean, Mediterranean region. We can call it as orchid region. We can, it is actually, guys, heaven on the earth. Okay, the all over Mediterranean areas. Okay, yes. This is mild temperature, warm temperature. There is a coldest which is 0 to 18° centigrade only, warm summers, Mediterranean area, Italy, California, like, okay, there mentioned some little number of cities like Barcelona, Madrid, if come to the London, these are all comes under Mediterranean. Okay, yep. Humid subtropical is there in the North India. North India mainly, of course, Mediterranean, Himalayas. Okay, there is a Sikkim, beautiful state. You have to visit Mediterranean. Okay, Kalka Shimla railway. This is the Mediterranean train. Okay, guys, China also comes under Mediterranean area. Okay, yeah. Marine west coast, there is no dry season in West Europe. Europe, yeah, of course, every continent there is a deserts on the west side of the continent. Every west side of the continent there is a desert, except Europe. There is no Europe in the deserts. There is marine west coast, there is no dry season. West Europe, there is no dry season, guys. There is no dry in the Western Europe. This is Europe. Okay, yeah. This is Spain, guys, Spain. Spain, Italy, France. This is California. Okay, this is South Africa. This is Australia, Sydney, Melbourne. Okay, beautiful places are comes under Mediterranean. Okay, snow, cold climate, cold climate. Okay, yeah, cold climate is 0 degrees centigrade, cold with dry winters. Example, yeah, Manchuria, Siberia. Okay, yeah, cold with no dry season. Example, Canada and Russia. Cold with dry winters, cold with no dry season, no dry winters. Okay, yeah, Canada and Russia, there is no dry, but dry winters is beautiful. Okay, mean completely snow, completely smooth. This is the polar region, completely snow, cold. Okay, cold is a completely snow. Okay, just look into there, guys. You can understand. You have to take a map. Okay, you have to take a map and understand it, each thing. Okay, yes. Yeah, polar climate. Polar is the completely exist area where north or south. Okay, this is the polar, this is the polar. Okay, yeah, very cold summer, less than degree 10. Okay, yeah, all over -10 temperature, more than -10 temperature. Tundra. Okay, that is Greenland and Alaska area. This is Alaska, this is Greenland. Okay, yeah, ice cap is Antarctica and Greenland. Okay, yeah, this is very cold area where the world climate described. Okay, yes. Highland climates found in mountains, very altitude, not latitude. Himalayas is highland area. Highland, it is not based on latitude, it is based on altitude. Okay, yeah, this is the world climate, but climate change took place. Climate changes also took place by human induced factors. Okay, human induced causes, industrial revolution that leads to the rise of carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen and chlorofluorocarbons. Deforestation also reduce the carbon sinks. Urbanization also increase heat in highlands. Okay, guys, these are human induced factors, they can change the climate. Okay, global warming and greenhouse effect. Global warming, greenhouse effect. Greenhouse gases trap heat, earth average temperature rising, majorly CO2, CH4, N2O, chlorofluorocarbons and ozone. Ozone also one of the greenhouse affecting gas, most important, guys. They can ask you major greenhouse gases are what? CO2 is the major gas, CH4 methane also major gas. Okay, nitrous oxide N2O and CFCs chlorofluorocarbons and ozone O3. These are the major gases for the greenhouse effect, guys, most important. They can ask you, they can confuse you, like give you other hydrogen, helium, like that other elements also they can give you, they can confuse you. You have to be perfect what are the gases greenhouse. Okay, that is important. Okay, yeah, major gases CO2, CH4, N2O, CFCs and O3. Okay, there is consequences, melting of glaciers and polar ice. Okay, if at in greenhouse there is a ice melt if the global warming. Okay, sea levels rise, floodings and coastal areas. There is a extreme weather events like heat waves, cyclones and droughts. These are the major consequences if the global warming took place. Okay, yep. I hope you guys understand. Like global warming is what? Global warming is what? That is the question. That is the question. This is the earth, guys. This is earth. this is earth, this is earth atmosphere layer, troposphere, troposphere layer. Troposphere, okay. This is sun, okay. Sun rays directly fall on the earth. Sun rays directly fall in the earth, on the earth. Sun rays directly fall on the earth, okay. This is the, they can cross the troposphere layer and they can enter into the earth surface. They can enter into the earth surface, sun rays, okay. So there is a troposphere. If the sun rays which is enter from the troposphere, they can reflect, they can enter into the earth and they can went back. They can went back, okay. They can went again. If they come at the same time, they can went back. At the same time, they can went back, okay. They can went back. So there is no heat. There is no heat. If we release a gas, gases like, if we release a gases like CO2, this is the CO2. If we release more CO2 or any gases, CO2 is there, CO2, it is high molecular weight gas. High molecular weight gas, CO2 is high molecular weight gas. High molecular weight gas. Due to the high molecular weight, they can always within the troposphere, they can settle down always within the troposphere. If it is settled down in the troposphere, this sun rays, if they come and reach the earth, they cannot exit from this troposphere. They cannot exit from the troposphere. If the sun rays, they enter on the earth surface within the troposphere, they cannot exit out from the troposphere because of there is a gas, CO2 gas, they can hold sun rays. They can hold sun rays, okay. What is albedo? What is albedo? Guys, if the sun rays, if they enter 95% sun rays, they can return. 95% sun rays they can return. But if it is gas is there in the troposphere, if the carbon dioxide is there in the within the troposphere, they cannot, they can hold the sun rays, sun particles they can hold. They can like hold sun particles, they can leads to the generation of heat, okay. So that can be affect the albedo, that can be affect the albedo. The sun rays, they don't went up again. So this is heat, this is global warming, okay. I hope you guys understand global warming, okay. Ozone layer depletion. Of course, if the like global warming is took place, ozone is one of the gas in global warming. Ozone is good or bad? This is the question, guys. Ozone is good or bad? Ozone is the greenhouse gas. They can affect global warming, okay. Ozone is good, ozone is bad when ozone is bad, When ozone is good? This is the question. If ozone in troposphere is bad, if ozone in stratosphere is good, because of troposphere ozone create global warming, create like global warming, okay, greenhouse effect, greenhouse effect. If ozone is bad in the troposphere, if the ozone is there in the troposphere, that is bad, they can affect a greenhouse effect. Ozone is stratosphere is good, they can protect us from the UV rays, protect from UV rays. This is important. This is important for coming exam, guys. Ozone can be good, ozone can be bad. Ozone is good in the stratosphere, ozone is bad in the troposphere. Okay? Yeah. Ozone, actually ozone depletion is took place by CFCs halogens. CFCs halogens. Okay? CFCs mean chlorofluorocarbons, they can deplete the ozone in the stratosphere. In the stratosphere. In the stratosphere, there is a ozone depletion is took place in the stratosphere. Ozone absorb UVB radiation, UVB, UVA is there, UVB is there, UVC is there. UVB is the most harmful, UVB is the most harmful in the like skin cancers, that can be cataracts and reduce crop yields. Okay. There is a Montreal Protocol tells about ozone depletion. Montreal Protocol, it is the international treaty for the ozone depleting substances. Montreal Protocol, that is important. Montreal Protocol, protocol is a signed agreement based on which convention? Vienna Convention. Vienna Convention. Vienna Convention in the Canada. Montreal Protocol under Vienna Convention. Montreal Protocol, it is tells about ozone depletion gases, mainly CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. That is the protocol, Montreal Protocol under Vienna Convention. Okay. Vienna Convention is the convention where group of people or group of countries, they together to form, they can give a principle, general accepted principles. Under the Vienna Convention, they made a protocol, that is the Montreal Protocol. Montreal Protocol is based on the ozone depletion. They can ask you which protocol tells about ozone depletion. Montreal Protocol, Kyoto Protocol, Cartagena Protocol, Nagoya Protocol, there are number of protocols. Montreal Protocol tells about ozone depletion gases, mainly CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons. Okay? Yeah. If convention is comes under Montreal Protocol, comes under Vienna Convention. Vienna Convention. Okay? Yes. Yeah. International efforts against the climate change. UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Climate Convention on Climate Change, that is comes under Rio Earth Summit 1992. Okay? That is UNFCCC, it is the convention based on Rio Earth Summit 1992. Rio is the place in Brazil, that is the Earth Summit is took place. In that summit, there is a convention declared, that is UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Okay? That is about framework for the climate change. In the UNFCCC Climate Change Convention, there is a protocol called Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol 1997. It is binding targets to it is cut the emissions. Okay, mainly that is about the global warming gases. Okay, gases, pollutions, air pollution. 1 minute guys, sorry. Jeevan, tell me. హలో ఎక్కడన్నా పెట్టాలా, షోలో పెడితే పోతున్నావా? నేను నీకు ఫోన్ చేస్తాను 1 అవర్లో. ఓకే ఓకే ఓకేరా, ఓకే 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 ఓకే. కీ అక్కడ షోలో పెట్టేసి. ఓకే ఓకే. Okay guys, Kyoto Protocol is based on, sorry guys, sorry interrupt the class. Kyoto Protocol is about the pollution, air pollution. Just I am going to give you. Okay, clear. UNFCCC. Okay, this is actually convention from the Earth Summit, Rio Earth Summit. Rio Earth Summit, there is a convention UNFCCC. From the UNFCCC, there is a protocol in this convention is Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol about the climate change gases, air pollution and climate change. Climate change, Rio Earth Summit. Okay, that is binding for developing cut emission for the developed countries. Okay, developed countries, mainly industrially developed, they can release huge like pollution gases in the atmosphere. Okay, that can be cut, that emissions. Okay, that is Kyoto Protocol told. Paris Agreement 2015 replaced Kyoto Protocol. Okay, that is global pledge, limit the global warming below 2, aim to reduce up to the 1.5. If it is global warming, it is reach 2 degrees centigrade, there is no human habitations, there is a huge difficulty to survive. Emerging countries like India, like there is a coastals are mainly increase the sea levels, there is a coastals are mainly affect guys. Okay, if there is a ice melt and the climate change, if the ice melt and there is a high levels increase of sea levels. Okay, yep. I hope you guys understand. Okay, yeah. Next, India initiative based on climate change, National Action Plan and Climate Change 2008. There is a 8 missions. This is important. They can ask you which one of the following is comes under climate action plan. What are they? Solar 1 mission, solar mission, energy efficiency 1, water, Himalayan ecosystem likewise. Okay, state action plans like climate change and expansion of renewable energy, solar, wind and biomass, India initiatives guys. Okay, yeah. Impact of climate change in India. More frequent heat waves, floods and droughts, cyclones took place. Sea levels rise threaten to the coastal cities like Mumbai, Chennai, Calcutta, and Himalayan glaciers melting. They can affect Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus rivers. Agriculture also mainly affected guys with the climate change. Summary for this lesson. There is a weather Copenhagen classification and there is a natural climate change, human causes, global warming, ozone depletion. Okay, global agreement, India like initiatives. Okay, most important. Previous year questions we have to discuss. Okay, we have to discuss from this chapter. Of course, chapter is looking like a small, but there are questions from this chapter based on the importance. Climate change is the most important. Okay, depend on that. There is a question from each exam guys. Okay, UPSC question. With the reference to the global climate, which of the following is the best described La Nina. La Nina. Yesterday I discussed what is La Nina. La Nina or La Nina. Baby girl. Baby girl. This is the Spanish word. Okay. La. Unusual warming of surface water in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. A. B is the unusual cooling of surface water in the equatorial Pacific Ocean. C. Sudden reversal of trade winds in the Indian Ocean. Of course, strengthening of the monsoon winds over the Indian subcontinent. Guys, if come to the word El Nino or La Nina, La Nina or El Nino, okay, there is a other word El Nino. El Nino or La Nina, okay, El Nino different, La Nina different. This is the term based on the only particular ocean, Pacific Ocean, okay. You have to blind the Pacific Ocean, not Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean. So, there is no winds in Indian Ocean, though this option is wrong, Indian Ocean. So, Indian monsoon effect, but not Indian subcontinent only, okay. So, two options eliminate, okay. Surface in equatorial Pacific and Pacific both are there, but El Nino is warm air, La Nina is cold air, cold current, wave current. It is the long distribution of wave in the Pacific Ocean, that is either cold or warm water, cold wave or warm wave. Warm wave it is mainly El Nino, cold wave it is mainly La Nina, okay. So, unusual cooling surface water in the equatorial Pacific, not warming. Warming is L, baby boy, Bobby is warm, okay, girl is cool, okay. I hope you guys understand this, okay. Yes. Next question. UPSC prelims, this is, consider the following statement. The Sustainable Development Goals were first adopted in 2012 Rio Conference, and second one, Paris Agreement on Climate Change is a legally binding treaty. 1 or 2, which one is correct? Okay. Sustainable Development Goals is 17 goals. They can took place, agreement is 2012 Rio Earth Summit, Rio Summit 2012, okay. They can place from Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030. 17 goals should be implemented. 17 goals should be implemented 2015 to 2030, that is span of 15 years. Okay. They adopted this Sustainable Development Goals in Rio Summit 2012. 2012 Rio Summit after Rio Earth Summit. After Rio Earth Summit, after 20 years, 1992 is Rio Earth Summit. 2012 there is another summit in the Rio, that is not Earth, another summit Rio. That is the summit they took place for the Sustainable Development Goals 2012. They targeted Sustainable Development Goals, 17 goals from 2015 to 2030. We can implement all goals. That is the strategic plan they started in Rio Earth Summit. This is the right answer. First one is right answer. Paris Agreement, climate change, of course climate change, but not legally binding, not legally binding treaty. Okay, it is generally accepted, generally accepted. Generally accepted, not legally binded. So A is the answer, 1 is the answer. Okay, yes. Next, TSPSC question, they did ask APPSC also. Montreal Protocol 1987 is related to the, Ozone depletion, Montreal Protocol is ozone depletion. This is under Vienna Convention, Vienna Convention 1985. Vienna Convention 1985, there is a protocol in 1997, that is Montreal Protocol about ozone depletion. Guys, I am going to make a video all conventions, protocols and summits. If you want, please be commented. Okay, I can made a video. Actually, I did made about Earth Summit. You have to watch it. Okay, yes. Yeah, there is another question, practice question. Weather is referred to, it is a short term atmosphere condition. Okay, yes. This is, they can confuse you such a gases. Which of the following gases has the highest contribution of global warming is CO2, high molecular weight gas, guys, high molecular weight gas, CO2. Which of the following is the dry climate under Köppen classification? BW, sorry, actually they don't ask you such letters. Okay, dry climate is mainly temperate. Okay, mainly temperate. Which international agreement is aimed to reducing the greenhouse gases emission? Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol under convention of UNFCCC, UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Okay, in this convention there is a protocol, Kyoto Protocol, for the like emission, greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, yes. Paris Agreement 2015 seeks to limit global temperature up to, aiming is below 1.5, below 1.5, okay, below 2 and aiming for 1.5, below 2, okay, yes. Which of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Oxygen is not a greenhouse gas. Nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, methane are the greenhouse gas. Okay. Yeah. Ozone depletion is the most severe over Antarctica. Of course, there is a Antarctica hole is there. There is a hole in the Antarctica. There is melting of all ices. There is a places, actually Antarctica there is station. Our space station also there in the Antarctica. They can ask you our space station in the Antarctica. There are 2 space stations for India. You have to go through that Google. There is a question coming from that. Okay, Antarctica is the main region for the affecting from the ozone depletion, guys. Okay, I hope you guys understand this topic. Okay, you have to like it and share it, guys. Thank you so much.